Calling all cars. Calling all cars. 3 unidentified white males seen entering Club Jabber Jawn for some kind of televised celebration. They are not considered armed or dangerous but approach with caution. People, I know you're used to spending Thursday night with us, but tonight on Jabber Jawn we celebrate the birth of Mr. Steve Alphonso, the Birdman of Alcatraz, more in our End of the Century episode dedicated to the 1990s. As we move into the 2000s, we would like to thank you for your continued patronage and hope that you are comfortable with our new 2-drink minimum and no shirts, no shoes, no admittance policy. We have to pay the rent somehow. Hope you all can gather around your Christmas trees and listen to the old-time radio broadcast of Jabber Jawn with Father Moore, Uncle Nathan and the town lamplighter, Kyle. Pay me an extra shilling and I'll come to your house in the morning and toss stones at your window to wake you up for work. Remember to share your home cooking with your neighbors and spread any gossip you heard while visiting with family. Did you know that my aunt played bass for the group Soul Coughing on their rarely heard third album? Rumors, gossip, outright lies and jokes. Who cares? Oh, also tonight tune in as I'll be wearing a new shirt a friend got me for Christmas. She's one of the best gift givers yet, so you won't want to miss this unveiling.
Three little frogs sitting on a log, one of them fell in. One frog said to the other frog, well, you better go get him. Two little frogs sitting on a log, one of them fell in. Last little frog, he sat and thought, good thing they can swim. Jabber Jawn, Jabber Jawn, Jabber Jawn, Jabber Jawn. Three little frogs sitting on a log, one burst into a grin. One frog said to the other frog, wonder what's got into him. Two little frogs sitting on a log, one laughed until he is red. Last little frog, he sat and thought, must have been something I said. Jabber Jawn, Jabber Jawn, Jabber Jawn, Jabber Jawn.
All right. Ding, 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 ding. And we're live. Welcome to the show. It's a very special show today. It's Steve Moore's birthday. Happy birthday, Dad.
Happy birthday.
Yes.
Thank you, thank you.
Word on the street is he's, can I say your age?
Sure.
You're proud of it, right? 76 years old, ladies and gentlemen. 76.
Yep.
This is Kyle Hogg, Steve Moore. I'm Nathan Moore. Welcome to Jabber Jawn. It's good to see everybody out there for a special season finale, episode 49. It's the end of season 1. We already got big plans for season 2.
I'm actually in the portal, and I'm available to sign with another podcast.
Oh, you're a free agent.
Coming out right now.
He's renegotiating his contract.
I'm going to be like them NCAA idiots that take all the good players off the field right before the biggest game of their lives.
Right.
I'm telling you right now, I'm not sure I want to be in this group. I'm going to sign if I get something in the portal that's better. That's all I had to say.
Did you read your contract with a lawyer before making this announcement?
No, my lawyer just retired. I'm sorry.
Well, no, I like it. I mean, Kyle's coming in with some attitude now too, with podcaster on his shirt.
This is a Christmas present I was very proud of. I can't read it upside down.
Podcaster, noun. One who talks shit for an extended period of time.
That's right. Our loyal viewer, Megan Melendez, sent this to me. Great gift.
Very good.
I'm just glad to see you're both embracing your new role in society and your status as podcasters. I mean, enjoy it. I'm sure there's all kinds. Phone's probably ringing off the hook. No, not yet.
Is that a phrase you used back in your day? I mean, I don't see any hooks around my phone.
That's right.
Good Lord, how old are you anyway?
It's probably ringing off the pocket.
Did you ever write songs before there was cell phones and stuff?
Well, heck
Like,
yeah.
do you have songs that are like seems totally outdated now by technology?
That's a good question. I don't know. But definitely was writing songs.
Did you know about Radar Love?
before-
Was that
Radar Love. Right.
is that a new technology or is that
Nobody cooks chicken and rice anymore.
Yeah, right. Yeah, that's one of my dated
You
songs.
just nuke it.
Percy said, "Happy birthday, Mr. Moore. Wishing you a day filled with joy, laughter, and all the things that make you happiest.
Oh, that's
May this
tech
year bring you
support.
plenty of wonderful memories and accomplishments."
Well, thank you.
Well, there you go, Percy. Thank you, Percy.
Is that a real person?
That's tech support having fun on the Discord server. If you don't want more of that, you could close the Discord app or just let it roll. That was fun.
all of a sudden when the computer starts saying happy birthday to you, you know nobody's cooking chicken and rice anymore. That's like,
Proves it beyond a shadow of a doubt. I rest my case. Very good.
no, but do you have songs about like the phone ringing off the hook or anything like that?
That's a good question.
You could probably find
I'm
them.
going to have to think on that one. Nothing immediately comes to mind.
But I'm sure by the end of the show you'll have thought of one, so miraculously it'll seem like, what? He had this song planned the whole time.
How did he make me do that?
I know when y'all watch this, it seems like this is the first time we're talking, but I honestly think somehow that Nathan watches these shows so he knows what song to play. Because every single time we end, your song is like it was written for that show. It scares.
That's a lot of pressure.
It scares me sometimes that you knew what we were going to talk about.
Yeah, eventually we'll run out of songs.
Jinxing the
by
kicker.
by episode 2000, I'm gonna start digging to the bottom of the barrel, scraping the barrel. So why you got your book open?
We were just talking about barrels on the way up here, how nobody uses barrels anymore.
You're talking about how no one uses barrels anymore?
I told him he would have somebody over the barrel if he did that to him. And they said, nobody uses barrels. Nobody even talks about barrels anymore. Then all of a sudden you start talking about barrels.
There's way too much of that happening to me lately.
Oh, my God. That's
I've had
so weird that you
several
said
of the
that.
weirdest coincidences.
Like what?
Oh, just, well, the one that knocked me off was a friend came with a beluga picture of, and I don't want to go into the whole beluga thing at this moment, but someday that'd be a good topic. Beluga Day is coming up, but she had a picture of like the third Beluga Day, where my friends and I got by the river and jumped in and all that. And we're, you know, it's back in the 90s. I guess it was about 93. And she had saved it from Bobby Fitzgerald.
Maybe tell them a quick little nutshell of what you're talking about, Beluga Day.
Well, around 1990, several of us got together over this time when you get drunk and party. And we did that occasionally. And one night we decided that the best way to actually celebrate the new year was to get rid of the bad stuff of last year by jumping in a river, doing a sweat lodge, and then getting real hot, because someone was reading a book about that.
All right, sweat it out.
So we sweat it out, and then we go naked and jump in Middle River. And we all agreed that that was a pretty damn good idea.
Now, what is the name?
That was
mean?
1990, and it's been done every year since.
Yeah, and we'll be done this year on New Year's Day.
Now, how did it come up? How did it become known as the Beluga Club?
Well, there was one famous beluga when he would go into the water, his big old white butt would come up, and it looked a lot like a beluga whale.
I think you're talking about Steve Talley there.
No, we don't.
We don't.
We're
What's his
not.
beluga
We're
name?
on YouTube. And Steve Tally might be watching this. You don't ever give out names, son. You haven't been podcasting very long, have you?
What's his beluga
There's
name?
a lawsuit around.
The phone's
every
going to be
bend.
ringing off the hook now. Lawyers calling us.
Steve Tally's lawyer's probably calling me right now.
Get your fat white ass down here. We're going to sue Nathan Moore.
What's his beluga name?
Hairy white ass.
So that's no safer.
That was a bad question. That was a leading question.
No, wait, so y'all didn't have a name. That came about just when he made his appearance? Or whoever that mysterious person was?
No, the coincidence. Are we back to the coincidence?
Oh,
No, I
we
think
leaving
veered off
belugas?
somewhere.
we might have veered off.
Well, we were in belugas.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah,
the
yeah.
picture. You had the picture from the...
I had the picture. And we were talking about it. And I got a phone call like that one just then. And I looked at, well, it was a phone call, so it kept doing that sound. And I picked it up, and it was a friend who is the son of one of the elder Beluga brothers. And he said, I'm trying to put something together for my dad. Do you have any Beluga pictures?
Oh, wow.
And was sitting there holding that picture while he was talking and looking at it.
Wow.
And I'm thinking, whoa.
That's cool.
So he came over and I gave it to him and he used it and he'll bring it back Beluga Day and we'll pass it around and remember.
That's wonderful.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's really nice.
So that was the biggest one, I think. But this morning I had a bowel movement. It was
Applause.
And the
Congratulations. See, it's your birthday. It's your birthday.
Wait a minute. Shouldn't it be? I had a bowel movement, and the coincidence is, The coincidence is I didn't give a shit.
I got it. I was in the bathroom at the time.
Wow. Look at that. The stars aligned.
And he was thinking about leaving us after this show.
And that's the story of Christmas.
So here's another thing that bothers me.
What was the first thing that bothered you?
Steve
Kyle.
Tally's big white ass.
We hadn't got to Kyle yet, have we? I'm sorry. No. Now I lost it. Oh, no, I haven't. These guys that make a tackle and go 30 yards down the field doing some dance, you just did your job.
Yep.
Okay?
Preach.
I mean, what if I did that if I taught a good lecture?
Down the hall.
I'm doing my job. What if the nurses at the
I
hospital
think
did
the
that?
world would respond
mean-
good to that. I think
No, I'm thinking about the nurses at the hospital.
Right.
It gets old. You don't want to see that. I just
Stop! You're throwing blood and urine everywhere. Stop celebrating.
That's a 10. They're great. Yeah, it's just not about that. It's a team sport.
right.
That's my point.
Yeah,
And
you're
that
right.
makes me sound like an old fogey, but that's what I am.
You are an old fogey.
I'm 76.
Yep.
I can do
There's
that.
nothing wrong with sounding.
I can fogey away. Of course, I've been doing it for about 50 years. You know.
Well, Steve Fogarty, they call him.
Well, you have your book open too.
Oh gosh, I'm tired.
You need a break.
Talk to him for a little while. Get back to me. Oh, my goodness.
I made you something.
Oh my goodness.
There you go.
Oh, you all right, buddy?
What's wrong? You all right?
You're safe.
Now the
Here he
the only
comes.
fear I have is that I know how good of a magician he is, so I'm afraid like a dove's gonna fly out of this or something into my face. I hear it ticking.
It's gonna explode.
It's a little rabbit. Hey, look at that! Oh my gosh!
It's from an old magic catalog, a section on thimble magic.
I don't know if y'all remember, I was trying to get the peace sign going. Man, he's got, even got the
cool.
top hats on. Oh, that's very cool.
Oh, yeah.
That's going to go around the front of the car.
Yeah, you might have to do that.
Is there a Mercedes? What is that? Peace, brother, peace.
Merry Christmas.
Oh, thank you so very much. That's
Very
wonderful.
Here, I can show it to Dad real quick. Yeah, decoupage. I used to, on my merch table, I used to have little
That's so
boxes
cool.
and things where I'd take old magic magazines, like from the
I
40s and
love
stuff, and decoupage them onto the boxes. So
great.
that's an old ad
like
for
it.
thimble magic. Thimbles. But then I put Jabber Jawn there at the bottom. This probably will end up at the Art Hive for sale at some point.
Now, was
when
the
you start hitting hard times or something, it'll be a little stretch there.
now was the peace sign? Was that during our first season or our second season?
This is the season finale for season 1, right?
Oh man!
This is season 2 already.
The scene shift has to have been.
Oh, the scene shift when we moved the set.
Oh.
This was maybe season 2. Okay, I could do that, but I feel like we didn't celebrate the season finale of
Who
season
said
1.
that?
So what is this, like Bachelor Island, where it's a different
just
setting
made a
every season?
man-
You don't know
Executive
who's gonna
decision.
be- Which one of these three do you
Does that
prefer?
sound like,
Bachelor Island set over in another room now.
For one day, the first day I will.
What's that?
Oh, what was that guy said that? Never mind. That's political.
No, I want to know the reference.
Well, it sounds like she just made a decision that impacted everyone without anybody talking.
Are we still on
It's
air?
called fascism. And I was alluding to something a well-known fascist.
I'm gonna do a
said.
little dance for y'all now while this conversation goes
And
on.
there you go. I have a present. I have a present for you from Nathan and me.
Okay.
These used to be. I gave 2 gifts there. They used to be his. I was going to call you and tell you about this, but I didn't have time.
Talk about fascism.
Wow. This is for me and Nathan. Nathan doesn't know we're giving
Now,
it to you.
here's the thing: if Nathan sees these and he wants them,
I've got to give
he
him
has to either buy them back, but he has no right to.
Or admit that I lied
No, admit that you left them in my basement for trash.
and said that I didn't want anything that was down there.
Exactly.
Yeah,
So are we clear on this?
I'm with you.
I hope you'll agree that they just cried out to you.
Merry Christmas. This is from Dad and me.
There you go. That's
Looks like a nice
what I
backpack.
wanted right there.
Look at that.
Man, oh man.
That's fancy, huh?
Isn't that
It is
something?
fancy. Look at that. I got a pencil in it and everything.
Oh, I want that pencil. I didn't
You can
know-
have
I-
the pencil. I didn't.
I didn't know I
Is
left that
is this
down
one
there.
you
Yeah.
decoupaged? Sealed eagle.
Now I didn't reach down in there very far,
Did you
but I
check the
did put.
pockets and everything? Oh, you put
No, I
something in
didn't.
there?
Except I put something in there.
Oh, look at that.
This is the gift.
Oh, look at that.
No, is this one of his old things too?
Was
Frogs and
he left this
turtles.
on the shelf.
Oh, it's note
Look at
paper.
that.
Man,
He's
the
a
gift
good
that
guy.
keeps giving.
And then when you use all the cards, it's like a secret
It
place
is.
just to hide your little gun.
Put my weed
Your
in
little single
there.
shooter.
Man, look at that. Put it on the shelf, put all my extra money in there.
Yeah.
Nobody even
exactly.
know what's
No
in
one would-
there.
No one would ever guess.
He's got any good books, Frogs and Turtles. Skip that one. Are we doing gifts? I found something actually. I wasn't looking for this, and I was so excited. I got a bunch of junk here, but these two, one's for Lex and one's for you. Lex, you need to come over here. I found these without even looking for them, and it was such an exciting find.
Sorry, I'm just realized I forgot to text Heather that we changed the night just in case.
You can switch them back and forth. This is one of those things that just jumped out at me out of the blue when I was doing my usual digging.
That's nice wrapping.
It really is.
You know what I was thinking about the wrapping? You know how the Buddhists will do that elaborate colored sand designs?
Yeah.
The whole thing is they'll spend weeks creating this amazing work of art and then just blow it away. And it's part of their non-permanence, non-attachment thing.
Isn't that crazy? I found that.
Oh, man, this is great.
His is just an illustration.
Okay,
Show
this
it to the
is
camera.
the Gypsy Jazz Guitar Festival from 1998.
What?
Isn't that crazy?
Did he
It's
did he get the wrong one?
It's a live recording.
Wow.
What is it now?
found that?
It's featuring groups like
Out of the
Paul
blue.
Chester Trio, Diz Disley Trio, Jeff Green.
I gave you the
And
one that had
others.
the most bass on it. It looked like from who participated.
Yeah, I see the line. This looks really cool and super
Wow.
timely because
I
I
know.
got so much to learn anyway. So this is great. And on CD, bam! Like what? Who does that anymore? Let's
Talk
go.
about old school.
Yeah. I mean, we've been talking about phones ringing off the hook.
Barrels.
People using barrels for
Chicken and
whatever
rice.
reason they use barrels for.
I'd rather hang
CDs.
out with a younger crowd.
Man, thanks so much.
Oh, you're very welcome.
The Gypsy Jazz Guitar Festival 2000.
So it's different editions. I was like found 2 copies. of
Kusi
this
Weiss Trio, the Cruikshanks Gypsy Jazz. Look at that. Wow. How about that?
thing. Just to stumble across 2 Gypsy Jazz guitar CDs.
yeah, where the heck?
And
Where'd you
they're-
find that?
They're live.
Oh, look,
too.
it's not
Like,
even
I
burned. It's a
always
real
loved
legit
that.
thing.
Yeah.
All right. Noof Manoosh. The dream lives.
The dream inspired.
This
Newly
scarf came all the
inspired.
way from Lithuania. It's
Wow.
actual gypsies. Kether found it. Pretty
Very nice.
Pretty spot on. It was a bit of a revelation. I don't know if that's how Django did it, but it's a tube. It's not a square. All the other ones I had were squares. This is like a tube. So I'm wondering if what Django's look like unfolded. More
I bet
later.
you could use it
More
as
later.
your arms.
Thanks,
Django
man.
Oh,
Unfolded.
yeah.
You're very welcome.
Yep, in a pinch.
Yeah.
Are we doing a bunch of gifts or just? I got other gifts for y'all.
What you got?
Let's see. Oh, this is just your. You left some Christmas cards in my house, and this is from your spaghetti. Oh, Lex, you gotta come back over here again.
Hey. Excuse me, babe.
I got one of these for each of you. I don't know if you've seen this artist or not.
Hey, Mike. Welcome to the show. Jeremy Black. Hola.
You've got one too.
Oh, man. Thank you. But yeah, I don't know if I finished that thought about the Buddhist sand art or whatever, but beautiful Christmas wrapping is very reminiscent of that.
That's a good
Oh,
thought.
man.
That's a good way to look at it.
Especially when you see Cristiano's wrapped presents. Like, oh my gosh,
Have you
can't
seen
even
that art
open this.
before?
This
The
is
local,
perfect.
local artist did
It's
it.
Man,
like
thank you so
Zelda
much. That is so
yesterday when they were
cool.
opening gifts. She was very meticulous and
Careful.
Merinos
and
at
took
Christmas
care of it
time,
and wrapped
but
it back up and
just
could
painted
use it
with
again.
that.
And
Wow.
Take that artist's stuff.
Who was that?
Zelly.
Zelly, that was her spirit.
It's gonna go in my
I
office.
really-
I need to keep going with my office. It's
Oh my goodness,
So,
look at the little frog playing
I have an
guitar.
office now. I might as well.
Wow, and a great picture of Marinos.
Artist
Isn't that
Craig
cool?
Peterson.
Wow, that is
They have some
beautiful.
local artists did those.
Is it a picture or a painting?
I think it's a painting, but look, it's one of those things you can't really tell if he messed with.
Look, it has a little Christmas wreath. In the
Yeah,
window
it's
and
it's
everything.
it's Christmas time at Old School Marinos.
Where'd you find the guitar playing frog?
A store called Made.
Hey now.
Oh yeah. We show the merinos to the show, Lex.
What's that?
Show the merinos to the camera.
We're hoping that.
Are we going to
We're
acknowledge
hoping
our
that works for
company
you
at
out
some
there,
point?
gang.
What's
If it
going
doesn't, it's a beautiful painting by Craig Peterson of merinos. Stanton Staple.
Here you go, Lex. I made
Thanks
you
again.
that.
Oh my goodness, it's all happening. Thanks, Nathan.
You're welcome.
Oh, that's nice. I like that.
Isn't that beautiful?
There's one more for you.
Oh goodness, this is really happening.
There's one for you. Isn't that a nice
Ooh,
painting?
has some
Whatever
weight
that
to
is?
Thank you, Kyle.
feels
I
fun.
You're
like
very
that.
welcome.
That's beautiful. See a picture? Not right now. A little later.
Oh my gosh. Build your own conspiracy theory kit. It's magnetic
come up here for a
phrases
minute?
for the fridge.
Well,
I'm sure
Come
Tom
on up
Hanks
here.
is in there.
I mean, it's so modern. Like all this modern stuff is in there.
Elliot, you want to come sit
That's
down up
fun,
there?
Nathan. How to
what
pick
you got
pockets.
there? Is that a cookie?
Love that. Thank you.
Little stash box.
Yeah.
There's another
Guitar
one for-
picks or
there's another
whatever.
one for
Yep.
you.
And I
We
love
show it to the
those.
show.
That's for you. Catherine, you have something over here
Ooh,
too.
you got found some
Decoupage.
cool Charlie Brown rat. I can't
Alto's
open this.
canister.
Too much of a Peanuts fan to
things
open
in.
this.
How to pick pockets.
Too much of a
Eddie Joseph. By Eddie Joseph. And then there on the bottom it's a little excerpt.
Hand shadows.
For some
How to
reason,
cast them using hand shadows.
all this stuff you do, puppets and magic. I
Boy,
thought
this-
if anybody could do hand shadows, it's you.
This goes really well with the gift Kethler gave me, which is this little circular light that has a cool ring around it or whatever.
See, there you go.
But it looks just like the light. This little circular.
That's cool.
Here's
How
some
to
noise.
cast them using hand
Oh,
shadows.
come on. I can't do all that
Yes,
now.
well, two of them are just books.
Well,
Not very exciting.
thank you. I think books are wonderful.
I guess Catherine's hiding, but this is for Catherine too.
Thanks, Kyle.
You're very welcome.
I'm gonna let Steve go first.
Hey, Heather.
I love that
Hey,
paper.
buddy.
I forgot.
I mean,
help me
believe it or
with
not,
this?
penguins
meant
my
to text
favorite
you
animal.
earlier.
Well,
I forgot.
oh,
my
wow,
favorite.
really?
Make sure
my
you
spirit
knew.
animal.
Special time.
Ooh, what do we got here?
This is my
You know what? I actually,
nephew Elliot here
Oh,
helping
that's
Dad
great.
open the.
Thank you. Look at the birds.
Ooh, what is that?
I actually forgot we were on
Yeah.
TV.
What are these?
It goes on your sink, and those are sponges, bird sponges.
Oh, good. I love it. I love it.
Oh, they perch on the sink.
Meanwhile, we
Little
had
suction
another.
cups or something. Oh.
While that was happening, we
Oh,
had
I
another
love it.
old slip up though. When you were like, "I forgot we were on TV," which we're not on TV. Who watches TV?
Yeah, he watches TV anymore.
People, we still know you're out there. We're almost done. We only get to see each other once a year. We're all so excited.
I got us some cool sponges for our sink here that look like old cassette tapes. And
You know-
one says "In Sync."
Did it come in like a boom box?
Insane.
Did it come in like in a boom box?
It came in a boombox.
That's
I had
sweet.
that sitting on my windowsill, and it leaked, and it ruined the box. So now it just happened. So now I have the sponges just stacked by
So
the
we have the
sink
same
sag.
sponges. Yes. Look at that.
I love it. Yep.
Look at that. It's a cardinal, huh?
Yeah, that old rectangular one's going out the door.
So you stick a little.
It's got like a stick on a sponge, so it sits on the like branch.
Ah, so that's where it'll clip.
Yeah, there's a
onto the-
suction cup on the stick.
Gotcha.
Yep.
We got
It's fancy
Sounds like you
newfangled
guys
stuff.
have been there.
Yeah.
I've seen those before. I'm going for it.
All right.
Oh yeah, nice. Fortnite Funko. We have Panda Team Leader.
Whoa, what is that?
It's a Fortnite dude.
When we were leaving a couple weeks, 2 weeks ago, something I heard Nathan say, "You want to come over and do Fortnite?"
Yeah.
So I was like, I saw Fortnite. I was like, I know somebody said
Now
that.
I got to
Who
try
was
to
it?
get that guy.
Now
I
you
got to look
be
for that
Get
guy.
the panda guy.
Yeah,
Oh hell yeah!
I'm into it.
Team leader. I thought it was good. The team leader over there directing all this stuff from the controls over there. Which we're out of control. No one's at the controls right now.
It's okay. We
Trains
are out of control.
Trains off the track.
Steve, I got something for you too.
Oh my gosh.
People, if y'all have anything for us, send us.
Thank
Send it.
you.
We're just sitting here
You're
waiting.
Oh, goodness. What do we got here? What do you think? Bird bingo.
Ah,
All right.
maybe we can play that on the show.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Look at all the
As the different birds come up, you can tell us about
Owl.
Oh, is that
See a
what it is?
cardinal?
You play with the different birds?
them. Yeah,
cool.
instead of
Yeah,
letters,
red
they're
bird,
birds.
yes.
Oh, that's cool.
Bird bingo.
This one.
Yeah, that's a white-crowned birdie boo.
It has begun.
Yeah. That's a falcon. And that's a kingfisher. And that's a bird.
Have you thought of the
That's a
song
magpie.
yet? About the off the
That's like a chickadee
When do you start thinking about it
bluebird.
usually? Like how far into it?
or a gray bird.
My ears are just open.
Yeah. That's a wood duck.
Now, does it change over the
mandarin.
course of the show, or it stays the same?
Yes.
Very, very good. Thank
right, people, this
you.
is-
You're welcome,
I love
buddy.
it.
This,
It's already working.
We'll have to have a
It's already happening.
party.
Yeah.
Get everybody
exactly.
over and play some bird bingo.
this is a good
It'd
time
be a
for
good
questions.
one for all the grandkids too.
Yeah.
Yeah, any
that's a
questions
great
out there in the
idea.
Yeah.
chat? Billy Shoemaker, welcome to the show. Little birthday party here for Dad for the season finale of Jabber Jawn.
Season finale.
Word on the street is this is the end of the second season. I thought we
Yeah.
just had a really long first season. I like
It's
it.
funny
We've
how
achieved more than I
time
even
slips
realized.
away.
It's what?
It's funny how time slips away.
It is funny how time slips away.
Sounds like a song to me.
Yeah, it does. Should write that.
Yeah.
I think I heard it the other night on that Willie Nelson special.
You watch that?
I taped it and watched it the other night when I couldn't get to sleep.
How was it?
It was wonderful.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, yeah. It's,
Were they all doing Willie Nelson songs?
they did, and they did them very well. And I didn't know he'd written all of them. You know, some of them I thought he might have. You know, he does all kinds.
He does. He
does
sings other
everybody's
people's
stuff.
songs, too.
Yeah, but yeah, it was very well done. And Willie was there.
He's one of the-
Willie's 90 there.
Wow, he's 90.
90.
Wow.
And
How about that?
he was there and played. Didn't talk a whole lot.
It's hard to imagine.
That's impressive.
Yeah, he's that much older than
Yeah.
you, too. Y'all seem like...
They played a song together with Snoop Dogg.
Oh, wow.
And it was like, what was the name of it? When I Die, or Roll Me Up and Smoke Me. And
Right.
They sang that together.
How about that?
It was a classic moment in culture history.
Right, I'd say.
Quite a statement.
He's one of the few people that really straddled that ground between being a songwriter and being an interpreter of other people's songs. He's just as...
Well, I thought you were going to say he was straddled the line of being a country artist and a hippie.
Right, that's true. Too. He straddled a lot of lines,
He
didn't he?
straddled every line. That's why everybody loves him.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a beautiful thing he did for us.
Yeah,
he's doing for us.
He actually did that peace and love thing. He lived it.
Mm-hmm.
And you can just tell everybody likes him.
Yep. Never heard anyone say a bad word about Willie Nelson.
I don't think so. There's a couple women. But that's going to be true of most good men. And they've got their good perspective. I'm not saying they're wrong.
Right.
Now we're getting back to birthday stories. Here we go. Dim the lights, soft jazz music
yeah,
in the
right.
background.
That might be the last story I told. I told that one.
So we had your birthday and your birthday on national broadcast.
Yeah, when's your birthday?
It just slipped by unnoticed.
When is it?
No, we did September 24th. I got to plan it for a Thursday, or we could. Man, look at you! You're so special. We even changed the day of the show for you.
No, he was having a party.
No, the crowd. We were supposed to build you up. We're trying to.
Oh, you're trying. We're doing that other thing. My persona.
Yes, and
I thought it was just me here for a second. I'm sorry.
Man.
Oh, Lordy.
Does anybody out there in the studio audience want to come up here and take over?
What's that?
It's your chance.
Well,
Elliot
I got
does.
everything I needed this year for Christmas. How about you?
I got all those purple papers, and I got banana.
Well, I guarantee you, that was as good as you could ever get.
You found your Elmo. You made that. Wonder if he remembers making that. How did he get it? Did he climb up there, or did Joe help him? That Elmo was tucked way back. Oh. All right. Well, any questions? Vicky, welcome. Good to see you. Vicky and Jack are out there.
Hey there.
Hey, we have 100. You got the 100 viewer challenge.
So, you want to talk about the 100 viewers to hear the bat story?
Well, I was talking about stories a lot lately because I've been trying to hear more stories. Well, I think I just heard one right there. He had something to say. But thinking about stories of the most famous story I know that I have told in some ways is one a lot of my former students would recognize. It's called the bat story.
The bat story. Yeah.
And I didn't do it all my career, but I did it for a few years. And the kids that I taught from one year to the next year, the kids would come in, and the other kids would tell them, and the first thing I'd hear is, "When are you going to tell us the bat story?" And the bat story came when it just popped out one day. So I had to be in the right place with them as a group. So it was later in the year, but I would tell the bat story. And so I've told it, but I haven't told it in a long time.
Mm-hmm.
And I can
There
try
was
to...
some rumor you were going to tell it tonight.
Well, I thought about it, but I don't. There's just too much going on right now. So I thought I'd make a little game of it and say that if we got 100 views on YouTube, when you can watch them up there when I go to see, I usually watch a little of it, just try to remember what we were talking about and how bad I looked and all, but that doesn't take very long. So, usually I just watch a few minutes of it, but it's nice to, never mind, I'm not going to.
So, Megan, you got to watch the show 2 or 3 times? Tell your friends to watch it. Tell Margie to watch it.
No, I don't think so. I don't want any cheating.
There's not going to be any cheating. If they're laughing, you can enjoy the same laughter many times.
Okay. All right. You can do
Comedy albums, you don't listen to them once and toss them out the window.
Stop at 100. So if we get 100 likes, by the next time, I will try to do the bat story.
All right.
And if we get 100 likes, can we send those? What were those awards we were going to give out last year? Last show? Weren't we going to send out a recognition of excellence award or something? I can't remember what we were.
Oh, right. Honor.
Yeah, that's right. You were going to get
Person of honor.
Yeah, you were going to get a
certified, verifiable person of honor.
So if we get 100 views and your names are all listed, you'll each get a certificate of honor.
I mean, we could, a lot of the live streamers will do that in real time, like 100 viewers live, and we'll tell the bat story.
Oh, wow.
As opposed to, like, if someone watches it later, So we could just like part of the season 3
Yeah.
thing will be every night we'll be looking at that number, how many viewers we have. If we get to 100, he'll tell the bat story. I don't know, but that would probably be many episodes.
And the
Might be too much tension for the
101th viewer gets a $25 Arby's gift certificate.
It's just icing on the cake.
That's right.
I mean,
So you want to go to the limit, then push it one more, and you'll walk out with a full belly.
I like it.
Can you identify who watches on the show?
I don't
Doesn't it
think
have
so.
names when you say?
See them in the chat if they talk.
Y'all need to get vocal if you want to win anything.
Hey, Brian. He says, Nathan, any chance you have or are planning on releasing any vinyl for sale? Yes, for sure, but it hasn't been made yet. I've been trying to create a record worthy of vinyl for a few years now. I'm trying to learn how to produce music myself, and I still have a lot to learn, but I'm not giving up, and I feel like I'm closer than I've ever been. And I might need, there was Brian Elijah Smith produced some music for me down here, and I thought that was going to be vinyl worthy, and it is, but we never finished it. So, but it's still a personal ambition of mine to produce something myself that I want to put on vinyl. I just haven't gotten that good at producing yet. But it's a huge part of my drive and ambition. God willing, maybe in 24 I'll accomplish it. But I am determined.
Well, I have a question, and I don't know enough to not ask the dumb question, so forgive me. But it seems like you and Brian did all that work, and you got to a certain point. Well, I'd say you're over halfway, or you.
Oh yeah, we were.
That's what I'm saying. So you had a body of work there, and now you want to pick it up. It seems like you look at it maybe as an artist or whatever, but it seems like you want to start all over. For me, I would think I'd want to use everything I already had with Brian and
get it out there.
just finish it with somebody new, and then you'd have a package. And
I couldn't really finish it with somebody new.
Really, I don't understand that.
Well, it's like the director of a movie. Like he's producing this, so it'd be like getting a new director for a movie. Love you.
Bye-bye.
Aww.
Thank you for coming, Elliot.
We got some more stuff for you guys next time we see you.
Woo.
You can always put those.
I might stay a little longer.
You can always release that as singles or club member.
It was a real COVID casualty. That was like he was here for the final mixing, and we had like a few days to go on the whole record. And I remember it vividly. He's like, all the stuff was just happening, and he's like, well, I better go check on Mom. And that was like the last I saw of him years ago. He was like, I better go check on Mom. Like the next day or something, the lockdown happened. And then time just passed, and it was a real sort of COVID casualty on that front. And I'm not saying we'll never get back to it, but it's just interesting. The moment in time is like I like. Love you.
Bye-bye.
I love.
Thank you.
There's something about records that I like as much.
I love you. Thank you. Bye-bye. Bye, Phoebe Joe.
As much as being an attempt to create a timeless work of art, it's also a capture of a moment in time in your life, which is a nice thing about a record. It's like a snapshot of where you were and what you were doing. So the further you get from that source of origin, it's like the Surprising Mr. Davis has a record that we've never released that we've been sitting on. And it just becomes less and less interesting to us. Like, it's not that, I don't know.
So what we really need is maybe some type of student from the Smithsonian of old music. and musicians and
Right, some modern day Alan Lomax
some
to
that
preserve the
could
history.
preserve
of all this
that and capture it for posterity.
stuff. Right.
Gosh, yeah, because there's a lot of. I mean, it's got to be, if you got a whole album there, you got to have a lot of good shit in there that's being wasted. I would look at
It
that.
is a little sad.
It's kind of like being wasteful with the things that God made for us.
I was just thinking about that record today, earlier, I think in the shower. I was like, I wonder what Brian's story is on that. Because he could have, you know, as the producer, he knows that that's unfinished, but I just wonder what he thinks, what his, I don't even know, like what his actual thoughts are on it.
So how many songs have you done?
For that record,
Yeah.
like 10. It's
10
full
songs.
record.
It's a full record. So you say, all right, I'm an idiot. I'm saying just put the 10 record, put 10 songs out and call it a record
You're right.
right now.
Yeah, it's
Wait,
Man,
what,
I sort
what
of,
am I missing?
well, 'cause I sort of understand you too, but as the artist, you don't want to put out something that you think just needs, you know, just one more.
Well, he
mix of
hadn't
this
said
or
that.
that.
He said he had 10 songs. He hadn't said it.
well, they're not fit. It's not the final mix.
Do you need Brian for the final
Brian,
mix?
he's the producer. He says when it's done.
Uh-huh.
I was pretty happy with it already.
Well, I think that's just plain stupid.
It might be.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I mean, God bless Brian. I mean, it's not his fault. You're being stupid.
No, is he a local guy?
And
or
it's
is he...
partly
Yeah,
my
he-
fault.
he
It's
wor- he
genetic.
tours
You
a
know
lot.
that.
What's that?
I was talking to them.
Rob Plattner, Platt Zepp, good to see you.
Hey there, Rob.
Carl, that was my next thought, is that I should just put Down to the Wire, the Brian record, up on my website in the all access. Great minds think alike. I'm with you 100%. Margie, good to see you. Vigorous applause. Got a good little crew in here for your birthday party.
Oh, good.
He says, happy birthday, Stephen. Love the shows and wishing you a happy and successful new year.
Oh, who is that now?
That's Brian. Brian, well, that's a hard last name to say. G-F-R-O-E-R-E-R. GF.
I'm not
Ever heard of a GF?
I'm not good with letters. I don't know what you were saying. Is our friend from Tokyo, is he watching tonight?
That might be him.
Tokyo in the house! He's my favorite viewer. I don't even know why, because he's the farthest away, I guess.
Platzap says there's an old saying, stick a fork in it, it's done.
In a barrel,
I'm
too.
familiar with that.
Yep, that's a good one.
I just read this morning, I forget what custom this is, but you open your back door to let the old year out, and you open your front door to let the new year in on New Year's Day.
Both at the same time?
Banging pots, right?
You know,
Banging pots?
they didn't give me all the
think
directions.
that's
It said
part
open
of
the
the
back
banging
door,
pot.
let all the, not that it was a bad year, but just, you know, we're moving on. All the good stuff, everything. And then let in all the new good stuff in the front door.
Yeah.
You know, you take that thought and add a quart of whiskey, and you'd be jumping in the river after doing a sweat lodge.
2024 is my year! 2024 is my
I
year!
guarantee you, that's exactly what happened.
Beluga!
Michelle, good to see you. Welcome to the show.
Hi, Michelle. Good to see you.
All right, well, what should we talk about?
Being pretty silly over here.
I had something I wanted to say, but now I can't remember.
I could look in my book, but I closed it.
Oh, yeah, you had it all open, like you're preparing for a
yeah.
dissertation
I
of
had
some sort.
lists of things I wanted to mention. One of them that I was on there was to talk about the family a little bit and recognize my Daniel's girls if they're watching, Eva and Zelly and Lucia, that we were all together yesterday, and then
How was that?
little Sam came along. Oh, it was wonderful. Joe was there with Elliot and Hunter with Phoebe Joe, and we had our little Christmas together, and It was just totally overwhelming. It was just in a beautiful, wonderful way. But yeah, there were some beautiful moments, yeah. Eva is such a big young lady, and she was like in control of all these wild, this energy, wonderful energy floating around. I don't think there was one crying episode.
Oh, wow.
Or they got him out of the room I was in, which is the same thing.
If I don't see it, it didn't happen.
If I don't see it, it didn't have to happen. But yeah, it was very nice. But I wanted to acknowledge my family and my sister Vicky, because we were a very small family, you know. That's Vicky and I, and sure she has 2 boys, Eric, and Eric's got Sophia that just turned 17, and his wife Kim, and then there's Travis and Holly, and 2 JMU students, Luke and Clark. So that's our whole family. And they were talking I would be the paterfamilia, but I found out today I'm not, because I looked that up. You know that term's remember that term from Brother, Where Art Thou? You know, I'm the pater, is it George Clooney? Is that the actor? Remember that line?
Not really.
Do you remember? Yeah. Well, he says he's the paterfamilias to the Holly Hunter character. It was a wonderful scene in the movie. But I looked it up, and the paterfamilia, and I wish I had Daniel's background in Latin to know really what I'm talking about, but it means the oldest member of the male member of the family, the pater. The mater familia would be the oldest female. So I'm the paterfamilia of our family, which I'd never thought of until this afternoon. No. But I looked it up. But one of the things back at the cultural Roman or wherever the origin came from, but the idea was that the eldest member, like a CEO or whatever, the eldest member had supreme power. They controlled everything. So what they said goes. And I was thinking that I'm just the opposite of that.
Wait a minute.
I'm the pater ridiculi.
Wait a minute. So when you were explaining that, I started getting all nervous. So if if I'm the oldest hog, I'm the, whatever that word you said.
Paterfamilias.
And I'm thinking, and I was thinking the same thing. Oh my God, I can't control anything. I can barely, get to work in the morning. My brother better step up and do
fortunately, the term we have a very small family, and within our nuclear unit, we realized that was stupid, because I shouldn't be in charge of anything. I really shouldn't. I should not have been in charge.
Well, that didn't stop them in the past.
No, they gave me 3 children. I don't know where they came from, but I had to raise 3 children. I didn't know what I was doing. I was just a mess. Should not have been held responsible. And I am like that right now.
But paterfamilia nonetheless.
Well,
whatever the ramifications.
I think pater ridiculi is the Latin for what I am.
But is it a term of honor or a term of power? I consider it more a term of honor.
It's a term of honor.
So you really don't have to
live
up to
culture,
all that.
that might, in that culture, it also meant power. That doesn't have to be. I think I can be a paterfamilias with another attitude.
No, if it's a symbol of honor, you deserve one of our awards.
Yeah,
He's
definitely.
definitely a man of honor.
Yeah, you need to get one of our Men of Honor awards.
I've always been honorable when I could be.
Yeah.
Well, it was fun.
Which that means absolutely nothing. Okay.
It does.
Think about it.
No, the thing is, we were talking 2 weeks ago about honor.
Why be honorable at all, though?
No, we were talking about honor, and there was another word another term that we had, like a person that thinks that they just, well, I can't remember what it was. But I was thinking, and I was watching some political stuff. Do you think for real there's anybody in Congress or in politics, big politics, that have honor?
Bernie Sanders?
That's a good answer. But do you really I think he probably considers himself honorable. But some of this stuff you see, like, how can these people have any honor in what they, how can they go home at night with any honor in their soul?
You don't think they all, like, I bet a great deal of them think they do.
Yeah, they probably are probably
And
right.
thinking you do, I feel like, means something.
Oh yeah, what you think can sway your. I'm sure Hitler probably thought he was right.
Right. Yeah. Even the worst in a lot of those are so convinced that they're doing good that it almost becomes meaningless. What
God,
No,
so
there's a
self-honor
lot of
and
people that
self-honor
enjoy
perceived
doing
and
evil.
now
public-
that's true. That's a whole other side of it, right?
What did he say?
That some people enjoy doing evil.
Yeah, people like being bad. They can get away with it.
Now, do you think it's because they've lost, or due to their childhood, or due to some terrible thing they've lost their sense of honor? And that allows them to do all this
It
stuff?
can definitely happen culturally, depending on how you're brought up. For sure, it has a great impact.
Do you think there's anything genetic about that?
A sense of honor?
About what? About
So someone has a predisposition to be a person of
meanness.
honor or a evil
I
person.
think you decide very early on whether lying is a tool or a sin, and or a mixed bag, and how you're gonna. But I think you determine that sometimes pretty early in the game. But I don't
based
think
on
based on experience, but also on just that person's brain, how that brain perceives the world, and what you notice and what you see, and a lot of that. It's chicken or the egg, whether it's your mind creating it or what your mind is forced to see or allowed to see or chooses to see. Pretty quickly it becomes chooses to see. Mm-hmm. And that's what you see and that's what you become. So if you see people as not human beings but things, you can do all kinds of things that make money. But it also destroys your soul if you believe in that kind of thing.
I always had, like, whenever I would see like a headline, you hear all these stories about they can't understand how this person would have done that because they came from a loving family and everything was okay on that front, and then they just went off the deep end and did some evil thing or something. But I always had a bit of skepticism about that. I'm like,
Well, the
because
first
I believe that I see my friends and the way they and their kids, and I'm like, that's never going to happen. Like,
No. But the first thing you got to learn about that whole discussion is that when you say a happy family, that's whose perspective.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, everybody's pretending they're a happy family. And you know, we don't have much data about what goes on in people's houses.
right.
Nobody does. We're getting there. There's little cameras are showing up about everywhere.
All right.
Yeah.
But you know, their happiness. But it also goes back to the brain itself and what it chooses to perceive.
Now, do you think? I just remember as a kid, if I ever told a lie, it made me sort of feel uncomfortable, or like, you know, I was like I'd done something wrong. I mean, I told probably more lies than I should have, but it would be like, ooh, I told a lie. Do you think that's something that's born into you, or that's
I think it.
taught
I
to
think
you?
there is that. I think it's just the same way as some people are more analytical. You know, their brain. We used to say it back in my day. We used to say left brain and right brain. Right brain more creative. People would say you're right-brained, and they would say a mathematician is left-brained. But you know, so we're all a mix of that, and what we determine is who we are. Now, where that, if that's genetic, it could be. I don't know. I think sometimes it seems to be the way that patterns of thought are so easily, but it's also the way people are brought up. So both things can cause it, but you know, in the individual brain, you can. In other words, the three of us could watch the same event and come up with three different perspectives.
Oh yeah, that's crazy.
Of what happened there. So if I'm leaning that way into thinking things work that way, I see it that way, and that's the way things get separated and pushed apart.
But I guess the truth also depends on how, I mean, what is there a benefit to you lying? Like when I was brought up, no really reason to lie. You know, I wasn't doing bad things. It wasn't. But if you were like a kid that was, wanted stuff, your parents couldn't afford it, and you stole it, and you lied and said no. It's a whole different. Your brain is sort of wired to. What does lying have a benefit to you?
Right.
You don't really view it as lying, like you just want to be a normal kid,
Well, you think about the situation where somebody asks you how they're looking or how they're feeling, and they're old and they've got a problem, and you say, you're looking great. Well, it's good to see you. You tend to think that, you just told a white lie. But it is an untruth, but you don't feel bad about that. So there you go. You just lied. Mm-hmm. And you're going to heaven. Well, you're going somewhere.
But that's not really a lie. That's seeing them through your loving eyes instead of reality's eyes.
Well, there you go. That's your rationalization.
I guess it explains everything.
In a court of law, you lied.
Why did you steal those shoes? Because I saw it through my loving eyes, not my reality eyes.
Well, there you go.
Those are my shoes. God wanted me to have those shoes.
Yeah. Don't they look good on me?
You could use that in defense. But yeah.
Have you ever seen that in friends' lives, whatever, with their kids or whatever, where a kid inexplicably?
Well, here's the thing I wanted to say about lies while y'all were talking. Well, the one thing I think that we don't understand is that words are one thing. But there's a whole level of communication that goes back to the primates and everything before words. And I always feel like, and I'm talking as a teacher who dealt with kids, looking at, I got to the point where I can pretty much tell when you're lying. Now, there are some sociopaths, but they're very rare. Mm-hmm. And they have their own set of things that I can pick out usually. That lack of empathy.
You've met a sociopath?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Well, we're talking about a range here. Mm-hmm. You just don't all of a sudden say, that's a sociopath. There's just ranges of sociopathic behavior. But, yeah, I've met some people that thought that way. Mm-hmm. So what I'm getting back to lying is that I figured out pretty early in my life that, and this goes back to the other thing people say, I'm not a very good liar. Well, they're exactly right. If you don't think you're a good liar, when you lie, you're going to be stressed and act differently. So people reading your behavior immediately know when you're lying. You should never play poker. Mm-hmm. You're not a good poker player if they can read you. You're a tell, is what they call it. So, but I felt like, for me personally, lying was not a good way to go because, like you, it made me feel bad that I was not being like I was brought up to be, but also because I didn't think it was a good strategy. Because here's what I told many a kid, and I just still believe it. I trust you implicitly until I can't. And if you lie to me, if you cheat on a test, I'm going to eventually know it, and you will lose our relationship. Mm-hmm. And I didn't always say that in words, but that's what it was. That's the communication that was there. And so there you go. Only the sociopaths took advantage of me.
What is a sociopath?
Well, I'd say people.
Well, did you raise your hand?
It's people that don't feel other people's needs in any way.
No empathy.
No empathy, and that they see the world as a manipulative game, just another little game that they're playing, and any success they have is they're winning. So they're trying to win. and they're willing to take advantage of it in any way. So they don't play with the same rules.
So what do you think creates a sociopath?
I think a lot of them seem to be born that way. Just missing one of those little things that says, I'm connected to you, or it's not connected. I don't know. I'm sure there are people.
Is it always a bad thing?
I think you could do certain jobs more effectively if you never thought about it. But it also leads you to being a Nazi soldier.
Yeah, I was gonna say, is a soldier one of those?
Well,
Well, like what?
The gunfighters and Gunsmoke.
not the duelists. They'd thought a lot about it.
Right.
But no, the gunslingers worried too, because a lot of times they can get off a shot. But that whole gunslinging thing—that's all a myth.
Right, but it's an archetype of some sort.
Oh yeah.
At least I thought it was an archetype.
Yeah.
There's so many interesting creeds of honor in the gunslinger thing.
The gunfight at the OK Corral, that's real, isn't it?
Well,
Wyatt Earp and Doc Wyatt.
They all fought. They all stand hiding behind barrels, shooting at each
That's
other.
our fourth mention of barrels tonight.
Yes, sir. You think of that image when the movie, if you watch it, I guarantee you 2 of those guys are behind a barrel.
Now, did you like the movie Shane when that came out, or how old were you when that came out?
I don't even remember it.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I don't remember that either.
It's some old Western. Jack Palance or Jack Palance gets run out of town. I mean, I've just heard people say wonderful things about it. Of course, I've never seen it.
I don't even remember it. So
black and white. When very much a man of honor comes to town and has to straighten some stuff out.
Well, that was the classic character back then.
Mm-hmm.
From the Lone Ranger on down.
I love we were talking the other night about how, as far as archetypes go, the Miss Kitty character, she's great, but it's also very fascinating because, that was back in the 50s and 60s when you could say that it was more backwards then than it is now, more regressive than the progress that we've made in terms of all these things, but still, Miss Kitty was an archetype that everybody related to then, no matter how long ago it was. That archetype existed of the Miss Kitty character, and I feel like everybody that loved the show, which was everybody apparently back in its day, would never want to see Miss Kitty not be herself, or to be subservient to somebody, or not be strong. Like any of that would be an offense. Well,
because wasn't she like the mother?
She owned the saloon.
Yeah, but I mean, the image was the 1950s, 60s mom. This is the center of the
But she was
family.
fiercely independent,
She took care
strong,
of everybody.
took care
if
of
you misbehaved, she got you back in line.
Mm-hmm.
I think it really played up to that mother image. Like, you were a little kid watching, like, yeah, that's what mom does, And if you were a guy working 9 to 5, you came home, like, thank God she does all that shit. I don't have to, It's
Right.
like, it was a comforting but, reliable feeling, sort of.
Mm-hmm.
She was the Arlene Marino of her time.
Right. It's just so cool because a lot of people would talk about how back then that the expectation was that a woman would be subservient to a man or stay at home or whatever, like the way people talk about it. But on the other hand, the Miss Kitty archetype completely exists. Everybody recognized it, acknowledged it, knew it, was comforted by it, and would be offended if she was ever depicted anything less on any level.
That's a good point.
Do you think that would still play on a TV show today?
Well, yeah. I'd say most women are like that now. It's not just Miss Kitty. Still, it's going to take me a long time to get through these, but there's so many. I'm still deep in the Gunsmoke love. That's my little safe space at the moment. Really love that show. I love that it was so well written and the stories are so good, and I have been so poorly trained by bad writing for the last 30 years that I can't predict a single one of the arcs of these stories. I'm sitting there going, oh, well, they're definitely going to, like, all of my assumptions are wrong. I try to guess where this story is going. I think for sure I know, and I'm wrong almost every time.
Wow.
And it's not because they were throwing in twists. It's because I've been trained that they always throw in a twist.
Right.
It's really just sort of like the natural arc.
This can't be leading to where I think it's leading.
Right. Yeah, it's a lot of that. It's really fascinating. I'm like, man, I'm just so used to bad storytelling.
No, is it in color or black and white?
So far, black and white. But I do feel like I saw an image last night of a Christmas episode of Gunsmoke. I was like, oh, it's in color. So at a certain point, they're going to go color on me.
Gunsmoke. Then you have to watch Ponderosa.
Or Bonanza.
Yeah. No, Bonanza came on right before or after Wild Kingdom. I can't remember. Didn't it?
I think so.
Oh, we have a new name in the chat. Horny Eyes.
101, free $25 gift certificate coming your way. Horny
Eric's
Eyes.
in the chat. Hey, Eric.
Hey, Eric.
He says, happy birthday.
Thank you, buddy.
Margie says, we always banged pots and pans to get rid of the evil spirits and negativity so you have a happy and positive new year.
Man.
So we open
all our doors so the neighbors can hear, then we bang on the pans. And we shoot pistols into the air.
I'm like, why do we do that only once a year then?
I know, like that should be Monday.
No, your body can your body can only hold 365 days. It's like the morning urination. You just get rid of it, then you go on until the next year.
Well,
You
you want me to open it?
Sure. A little something.
I'm saving your books till later.
Okay, yeah. We don't want you reading right now.
I want to spend a half hour talking about each other. And time is of the essence. What we got here?
The way you looked at that, I didn't want to ask you real philosophical questions.
The way you looked at what?
The way he looks, I want to ask you like real philosophical
Right.
questions.
Yeah,
I
we
can't
should-
read this.
I think it, what does it say on it?
I don't know what to say on it. What is it?
I think it just says, I guessed right. It just says notes. It's just a new journal for you.
Oh, great.
That's a nice one.
Feels good though.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's a nice one. Thank you.
I like seeing how close to the back of that one you're.
So instead of going on Instagram, you can just write it down in that book.
Oh yeah, it was a little sad. Dad texted the Jabber Jawn crew a few days ago saying that he thought he needed to get an Instagram account.
Well, I was thinking about my thoughts for the day. You know, just have different thoughts and the memories come up from different years and start putting some of those up and anything that, you know, my free thinking occurs and just wanted a place to do it. I wasn't talking about pictures, so I didn't know. Isn't there something else that maybe it's not called Instagram?
Twitter, but that's like limited to wordage, isn't it?
What's that?
Twitter.
Twitter, yeah.
But you can't really tell a story. It's like more shooting your opinion out, I think. Unless you pay to use it. Oh, unless you pay to use it. Man, we got the
you would like
IT expert over here.
You would like the format of Twitter to a certain extent because most of your posts are under that 140 characters
Yeah, I
or
mean,
less.
I'm a short-termer.
I just don't feel like it's sad to me that I feel like Facebook is going to be the most satisfying outlet for you because none of them are going to give you traffic. No, none of them are going to put your words in front of strangers' eyes.
Now, if you're a
It's all
blogger,
just-
how's that work?
Well, you have to get people to your blog.
But what
it's still
site is that on?
Substack, that kind of thing. But it's still going to be up to you to get people there. And so you get yourself into this little trap where like you're spending all this energy getting people to go somewhere else. And where are you getting them to go from? It's probably Facebook. So you could have just told them what you wanted to say on Facebook in the first place. And it's very frustrating unless you really are creating like the beautiful thing about a Substack or something is that it's like a blog, and the people that did go there would see it like a book, sort of with little links they could click on, read all your posts.
Yeah.
Sort of the same as them going to your Facebook wall, though. In Facebook, you already got your friends in there, and
Right.
You just need a good barrel to stand on.
soapbox.
That's right.
Take it to the town square. Let's get back in the physical. We should print you a new book. Get on that trick. Get it on the shelf at Art Hive.
All right, wrap this up. I got you a quick birthday present that made me laugh.
It's got some weight to it.
Thank you.
Oh, that's good. It's over there. Maybe the A sharp.
Man, there you go. All right.
I wish you could milk it. I wish you could like hold it and it'll just do the roll, and then when you
All
let
right,
go.
look here.
Oh, what do we got
Because
there?
didn't you tell me that you were ahead of that before Kenny Balzerman?
The baseball team.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's an old Kiwanis, like 50.
Kiwanis.
And
Now,
then
I was never in the Kiwanis. I would never. The clubs wouldn't have me.
I thought that's what you were in. Well, just
No, I
smash it on
worked.
the
I
floor
worked
then.
for them.
Oh, you worked for them.
Yeah, they ran the. I ran the club for them.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah.
So, but that's great. I'm going to start drinking tea. You drink tea? I need lessons in tea.
Where did that come from?
Reading. I was reading that book by you are what these drugs are. The one about Michael Pollan's book, latest book about your mind on these plants. And one of them is caffeine, of course, and talks about coffee and tea. So I got a little background in tea that I would.
Now I know you love baseball cards, and I know you love women. So I got you some Bo Derek collector cards.
Oh my gosh. Hold
I
you
didn't know
hobby.
they did that.
The
Where did
hold
you find
hobby.
that, Kyle? Where did you find those? That's super fun.
Oh
Yeah.
my gosh. Where are my
He's got to find
glasses?
his glasses.
Oh God.
Lay on your head.
Thank you.
But they're funny. This is the most. Her husband was like producing this movie, so the picture on the front is always her, and on the back it's this big, huge thing, photo taken by whatever her husband's name is. Like, dude's like riding her coattails, like for everything he can. I took the photos. Like, what baseball card did you ever get that told you who the photographer was?
Oh, it's all different photographers, so what you said?
Well, no, it's like his name is like in big letters, like Derek Hall or whatever his name was.
These are really fascinating.
Meanwhile,
But you know, they're not really. I'm sorry, but they're not the best shots of. They're a lot of face shots. I'm sorry, but that's not what it was all about, baby.
Face shots aren't what it's about anymore.
I mean, it was. The face shots are great, but. I mean, there's a big but here. I mean, I didn't mean it that way, but yeah, I did.
When I saw these at the thrift store, I was like, for one thing, I have to have them, and secondly, like, who would have these for sale?
Yeah, well, I've never heard of such a thing.
here's Bo. Is that what it says?
Well, like so.
Here's Bo.
Yeah, but look on the back. Like her husband, the director, John Derek was her husband. Look how big that is. Photos by John
Derek.
Derek.
Oh,
Nobody gives a crap who
was
took
such
the
a-
photo.
he
He
was
was
a
such a
weirdo.
controller.
Yeah,
John Derek.
That whole story
I remember
is just
him.
so
Yeah,
weird.
But each
He
one
was
on
a
the
number
back says
10
photo.
act. Yeah, he was. Well, he's not.
I guess it's all from that. Didn't she do like a Tarzan movie or something?
He did some old westerns. I think he's on Gunsmoke.
Oh, was he an actor?
I'm sure he was on Gunsmoke.
He was an
It
actor?
all comes around. Yeah. Well, that's arguable. But they put him in front of the screen because he's very good looking.
That's going to be a movie in and of itself at some point. Such
It probably already has
Such
been.
a weird
Their
story.
relationship. Oh,
Yeah, their relationship.
It probably
It's just
already
so
has.
strange.
Well, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
I don't know what I
Magpie, good to see you.
would have done without these.
Well, that's like what Marilyn Monroe was married to who? Arthur Miller or something?
Arthur Miller and
Arthur
Joe
Miller.
DiMaggio.
Yeah.
Joe DiMaggio, Steve Moore. That was about 3 weeks. She doesn't talk about it. And
Nobody does.
Well, it's kind of embarrassing for me too. It just didn't work out.
How old would Marilyn Monroe be if she was still alive?
76.
Was she from the 40s, the 50s?
I
Where
wouldn't
was
have
she
dated her if
from?
she was that old.
No, she was from the 60s, right? Oh, no, she was 50s. What was she?
What now?
When was Marilyn, like she was during James Dean and all that stuff, wasn't she?
Yeah, she was
Late
60,
50s.
So she would have been born like in the 40s?
early 60s. Yeah. She was,
So she's a little bit older than you, 80?
yeah, maybe a little older.
Googling.
Mature? She'd be mature? She'd have made her own money?
Yeah, she had already made her money when we met. It was in Tahoe. We should never have done it. There were drugs involved.
No, that's how she died. Didn't they kill her with drugs?
Didn't they kill her? Here, you want to borrow my conspiracy magnetic set there?
Let me just shake one up, see if Marilyn comes
Depends
to the
on
top.
if you get national.
Wasn't she?
Enquirer or not.
Wasn't she murdered?
Born 1926.
Dang!
Wow.
June 1st, 1926.
Yeah, she was-
Died in 62.
She's only
Yeah.
36 years old, man.
My goodness, I didn't. I thought she was older when she died.
Wow.
Now, why does she live on in history forever? Just because she was a good-looking lady? She didn't make any good movies, did she?
Yeah, they're
she
famous movies.
Because she was in them?
Partly,
I mean, she was just,
she played her
she was an
role very
icon.
well.
She was a,
Oh, yeah. Have you ever read that
I
Norman
mean, she was
Mailer book
huge at the
about
time.
her?
There's no way that.
Was it because she was shockingly more revealing than anything else at the time, or something? I mean, what was it?
What was
She
the appeal?
Was she like the first real scandal or something, scandalous kind of diva thing?
I mean, it's
or
funny
something?
because, like so much of that, she was just at the perfect place at the right time, the epicenter of so many cultural, like the bikini was a new invention. Like there was all these color photos, like all these things happening at once, movies. Like she was born in 26, so like in her lifetime, color movies and all these things are just in the pinup girl didn't even exist before she was born. So like as that became a thing, there was going to be somebody that was at the forefront of all that. But I think she got her start in like World War II or something as being on all the soldiers' lockers as this one picture of her. She was in the very first Playboy, I think.
Yeah. Well, it's funny.
Issue 1. I don't know though.
It's funny going back to, you were talking about if she was the first to do it. I bought this book Christmas Eve for myself. I was out of the bookstore shopping around. And you know who Mae West is, like the old-timey sexy lady. And she wrote a book. I bought it just because of it. And I flipped through it. It's her, like, no sassy lines. But it says she wrote it. I'm sure she probably didn't write it, but it's called Mae West Pleasure Man. That's the name of the book. And it's just, the parts I was reading, just her, like, get your, just like her little sassy talk. And I was
Pleasure
like,
Man?
That's the name of the book.
That's weird.
I was busted out
Isn't that weird?
laughing.
No, what's weird is he bought it.
No, for the collection.
That's weird. I don't care who you are. That's weird behavior.
Promiscuity and back and front stabbing on the vaudeville circuit in the 1920s. That goes on my next to read book.
Yeah, that actually sounds pretty good.
It's hard to find in the Mae West books now. Mae West is even before Gunsmoke. She was probably on Gunsmoke, wasn't she?
No, that's a good question.
Wouldn't she have been about the time they would be?
Nah, she was before that.
But like when she was older, she wouldn't have been on.
I don't think so. She was older when she was famous.
Right. Is she a radio star?
I have no idea. I don't know her
No,
very
she
well.
was in movies.
Those are some of the first movies, huh?
She was with Fatty Arbuckle.
Well, we're out of time. Anything you got any unturned stones or whatever for your season finale birthday show?
Well, I'm really glad it's over.
No.
I didn't think I was going to make it. One night I got to laughing and I thought I might explode, but I think I'm going to make it home and be all right. So, but I'll thank everybody for the birthday wishes. I've had some nice comments and people were good, and I love you. I really do.
We all love you,
Love you
too,
too.
very, very much.
I did think about everybody that, and I will continue to do that. I'd like to thank everybody that takes the time to wish you a happy birthday on that wonderful vehicle that you, what is it, Facebook?
Good old Facebook.
That you have explained to them at Facebook that I want to get out of them because they give too much advertising and idiot stuff that I don't want to see.
Yeah, it's
and I wish they'd behave better.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm not going to talk about that. I don't like to talk negative about anybody.
Well, we can open up the next season with that. We can get back to
Well, y'all bring it up. I don't
complaining.
want to talk negative about anybody.
Right.
Yeah. Thank you.
Gosh, I still haven't thought of a leaving song. You got anything in mind?
Oh my God.
You know,
Oh, yeah?
if you don't have it, you don't have any idea.
Not necessarily. No.
All right, here's a coincidence. I asked them to play a song when I was earlier today when I was at home. I asked Alexa to it was real quiet. I'd been taking a little nap and I woke up and I said, Alexa, play "Make the World Go Away."
Oh, wow.
And it was a beautiful rendition by Eddie Arnold.
Mm.
Wonderful. And then I said, well, what else did I want to hear after I heard that? And I was thinking, well, I want to hear a Nathan Moore song. So I asked Alexa to play a Nathan Moore song. And she played the Playhouse version of Chicken with Rice.
Yeah.
So, and I thoroughly enjoy it. I love Sarah Petrus on there with her beautiful voice and the energy of everybody there and the people in the audience. It's a beautiful choice to hear. And I thought, well, Chicken and Rice is in my head right now.
Perfect. I wonder if I finger pick it or guitar pick it. Chicken and rice on the stove. So nice to be home. Home with the bitter of feet.
Woo!
I'm not alone. It's not just
Not
me.
just me.
I'm home. Home. And I
Ain't ever going out there again.
not onto
The
the road.
road, not into the wind.
Gonna stay right
right here with my family and friends.
We need more wood.
Need more wood.
Hey, we need more wood for the fire. Sure feels good to be home. Home. In my big warm bed. My big warm bed. Been letting it go to my head. I'm home. Home. And I ain't ever going out there again. Not on the road, not into the wind. Gonna stay right here with my family and friends. Coast to coast, day to night, it's all good, but there's no place like home. Home. Everybody. Oh, I ain't ever going out there again. Not onto the road, not into the wind. Gonna stay right here with my family and friends. Thank you very much.
Oh, yeah, baby.
See you next time. Next time is going to be season 3, the season 3 premiere. We're going to pull out the whiteboard and make all our plans, and we'll see you soon.
Happy birthday, everybody.
Keep up the good work out there. Go get them, Tigers.
Happy birthday this year.
The woods are full of wardens.
Yeah.
Yay.
Wow.
Cather gave me a sleep machine for Christmas.
A what?
It's one of those noise generators that it'll do rain or a thunderstorm or a babbling brook.
Oh.
Plug that thing in. I just had the longest sleep last night that I've had in a long time.
Wow. That's wonderful.
Full, like 8.5, 9 hours.
Wow.
Just nice, solid. Just. What sound did you? I think we were doing the babbling brook. Is that what?
That's cool.
She was a little nervous that she wouldn't like it, but then she might be having the same revelation I am. We always had a little white, like the little fan that just generated white noise. This is an official thing with different sounds and stuff.